On the 29th of March 2023, 132 countries voted to pass a resolution at the United Nations General Assembly. This resolution was for an advisory opinion from the International Court of Justice, the world's highest court, to clarify the legal obligations of states in regards to climate change, as well as the legal consequences of countries that have caused significant harm to the climate system. The UN Secretary General has stated that this resolution is making history. And what is even more monumental about it is that it all began in a classroom and was led by students, specifically the Pacific Island students fighting climate change. My name is Caitlin Persich and I am the WA Co-Vice President of the United Nations Association of Australia Young Professionals Network. Today, I am absolutely delighted to be joined by the President of the Pacific Island Students Fighting Climate Change and my very, very dear friend, Cynthia Houniuhi. Welcome, Tia.
Thank you.
Tia, can you please introduce yourself and also introduce the association, the Pacific Island Students Fighting Climate Change?
Alright, so thank you, Caitlin. My name is Cynthia Houniuhi. I come from the Solomon Islands and currently I'm the president of the Pacific Island Students Fighting Climate Change. This is a youth-led NGO with two core objectives. The first one is to seek an advisory opinion from the highest court in the world on the issue of climate change in relation to human rights. The second one is to activate youth activism in the Pacific, in the climate space, to respond to the climate adverse effects. We have 4 chapters in Vanuatu, Fiji, Solomons, and Tonga. That is a brief description of that.
Wonderful. And now onto the resolutions. So what were your motivations to campaign for the United Nations General Assembly to request an advisory opinion from the highest court in the world?
As you know, Pacific Islands are on the front line of climate change. And this initiative was started by 27 law students that come from these Pacific Islands. We were studying international environmental law, and in one of the classes, we learned about the nexus between climate change and human rights. Climate change presents a human rights crisis for us. And so this prompted us to deliberate about how we could utilize law to bring about the transformational change we need to accelerate climate action in relation to climate regimes on the international level, because we need ambitious action. So ICJAO resolution initiative, as we like to refer to, presents that for us, an ambitious climate action that has great potential to bring about, shift the dial on the international stage. So that is the motivation for us.
Wow. And I know that this hasn't happened overnight. You guys have been tirelessly campaigning for the last 4 years. And so what was your approach over these last 4 years to have your proposal passed eventually as a resolution at the United Nations General Assembly?
All right, so like you've correctly stated, it is 4 years of hard work by a lot of people, not just us, people who have helped us realize this goal. So initially, I was like, this is unrealistic to begin with. We can't achieve that. However, it did not stop us. We first wrote letters to all our Pacific Island leaders. Here's a proposal, take this on our behalf. And then from there, we started working with other CSOs and we created an umbrella group called World Youth for Climate Justice. So in collaboration with them and other CSOs, we've managed to realize this goal. However, an important part of the journey as well is the leadership shown by Vanuatu government in response to the letters that we wrote out. They brought momentum to this campaign, which really took us to the next level as well.
No, absolutely. And look at the outcome. All the hard work has been worth it. And so now, Tia, are you able to summarise the question that the International Court of Justice will now be answering thanks to your initiative?
Alright, so in a sense, like Caitlin has stated at the start, we are asking the United Nations General Assembly to request an advisory opinion in relation to the question of asking the court to clarify the state's obligations in regards to climate change, as well as the legal consequences for countries that have done significant harm to the climate system. However, for us at the start, our greatest concern, which is reflected in the final question, is intergenerational equity. So asking states advisory opinion on clarifying to us what are the legal obligations of state to protect the rights of not just our future now, but the future generations that are yet to come. So yeah, in a sense, that is what we are happy about. That's reflected in the final draft resolution.
Wow. And so what does obtaining this advisory opinion from the highest court in the world mean specifically to you and also the Pacific Island students fighting climate change?
So for all of us, our motivation has always been our people and our islands. We come from culturally diverse countries that our cultures is so entwined with the environment. Our traditional dances portrays how we interact harmoniously with the environment, and as well as how our attires, cultural attires, come from the ocean and the land. And so we would like to pass this on to the next generation. However, there might not, this possibility is high that we might not be able to do that. So the advisory opinion can provide greater protection for not just our right to practice this sort of practices, but also our children as well. They need to be able to do that in a safe and peaceful environment.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what are the next steps as you prepare for the International Court of Justice to provide their advisory opinion?
Right, so we have been very integral in terms of the campaign through the United Nations General Assembly, and we would like our role to continue on in the second phase. However, we understand that the second phase will involve states submitting to the International Court of Justice, and we would like to be part of that. That is why we launched the book called Youth Climate Justice Handbook, which has or contains aspirations that we have, and also arguments and ideas, and what we hope that the advisory opinion can contain. So promoting it and giving it to states so that they can reflect it in the submissions is what we are focusing on now, and that is why we encourage all of the youths from different countries that will be making submissions to also come on board with this initiative.
Yeah, fantastic. And we will ensure that we post the links to not only the handbook, but any other relevant educational resources that the viewers would like to refer to. Absolutely. So lastly, Tia, what advice do you have for young people who are interested in campaigning for climate action, and how can they support your campaign?
Well, firstly, I would like youth to look at our journey and be inspired, to know that a better world is possible, and that do not underestimate the power of youths working together and fighting for what they're genuinely concerned about. We are concerned about not just our future, but what about our kids? I would like to one day look into the eyes of my kid, if I'm lucky to have kids, and then when they ask me, Mom, did you do anything? Were you aware about this? I would like to be able to look them in the eye and just say, I did try, I did try. I did not sit back and let the fate that was decided for us take its course. I did fight. So that's very important to me.
Yeah, that's absolutely very inspirational. I would like to thank Tia from the bottom of my heart for joining us today. I have been fortunate to know Tia for 9 years now. We met when I went on a school trip to the Solomon Islands, and we've regarded each other as family ever since. And Tia has always inspired me, and I am just so proud to see what she has accomplished at such a young age. Tia is 27, and she really epitomizes what it means to be a young person who is passionate and wants to stand up for what they believe in and doesn't tolerate the environment there currently is, and says we really want to make change, and is determined to do so. And so Tia, you are absolutely incredible, and I really hope this inspires everyone at home watching. If you're passionate about something, don't feel disheartened. It's very easy to feel disheartened in today's climate, but it can all start from a conversation, and Tia epitomizes what it means to really make some meaningful change. So thank you so much, Tia. I'm so lucky
Thank you for
to
having me.
speak to you. And for everyone, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us here at the UNAA YPs, and I'll be able to speak to Tia and ask her any questions that you may have. So thank you, everyone. We hope you have a lovely day.
Thank you.